Hey everyone! So, how is your lovely Thursday in the middle of April on quarantine? How many days have you been officially quarantined? Well, I know it's been since almost the beginning of March for us, so we're over a month now. So, the reason why I decided to choose to do this for my video is the insanity that is homeschooling. Now, let me tell you something. A few years back when my son was having some troubles in school with bullying and stuff like that, homeschooling was something that I really highly thought that, hey, this might actually be a good idea. I can homeschool the kids. If I want to teach them educational things, I can either take them to the park or I can take them to the museum or hell, the Discovery Center, which is something that we have here in Halifax. But lo and behold, things didn't work out that way, and we just ended up switching the schools. Why I'm currently having this conversation with you, lovely people, is because now, since we are all on quarantine, the children are all home from school. So we have no choice but to take it upon ourselves and be homeschooling parents. What I want to know is how all of you are surviving the struggles of being a homeschooling parent when it's not something that you were generally used to doing before. I know, in my own personal opinion, that I'm really kind of happy I didn't make that chance or that decision to homeschool my kids a while ago, because this has given me a newfound fondness for what the teachers actually do. Now, I'm just trying to teach the kids what I know, and as most millennials know, we don't do our math the same way that they're teaching kids how to do it now. So, all I can say to you is, lovely teachers out there that are going to have all these children come back to you after this whole quarantine thing is all over and said and done with, all I want to say to you is kudos, because I have no idea in the world how you manage to keep your shit together and continue to be able to teach all these children with different learning capabilities or that have different needs. I can tell you right now, with two school-age children, I don't understand how I'm doing it. For the first time in my life, for someone who has been technologically savvy for a number of years, I feel dumb. I don't understand the whole concept of Google Classrooms or all the links that you've provided for me to get the kids onto. Frankly, yeah, you guys see me doing a video on a computer, but I don't really have the capability of putting my kids on the computer because my computer is for work. So I don't usually do that. So now, on top of the fact of I only ever had my son's logins to get into the Google Classroom, I am now waiting on flyers to show up so I can do the actual hard copy worksheets with the youngest one. And let me tell you, trying to get a child to read at home when they basically think of this as a giant vacation for them, they don't want to do anything, regardless of what level of reading they're at, regardless of what kind of math that they want to do. And I'm at a point where I can rip my hair out because I really just don't know how I can interact our day-to-day things with trying to teach them new math skills and things like this. Thought of the idea of baking because, fractions, that's the one thing I remember from school. Or this whole using inverse matrices to solve linear equations, but hell, I don't even know how to do that anymore. But yet, these teachers sit there day in and day out, and, some of our kids are dyslexic, some of our kids have learning disabilities, and not only do they sit there and go through and teach a normal day of classes, they also accommodate all the other children and all of their other needs. Whether, that's in-class help or if the child has to go to resource or whatever it may be. I know I was a resource kid when I was growing up and in school, especially in my high school years. But one of my kids is dyslexic. The other one has ADHD. So it makes it very difficult considering they're both the ones that are actually in school. So me sitting here trying to figure out my best learning plan for the two children who have their own learning disabilities, and the fact that I have issues with comprehension and always have since I was in school, is making things a little difficult. Based on the research that I have done when it comes to homeschooling, is that this is all a base of survival. One of the things that the teachers want us to keep in mind is that yes, it's a good thing for the kids to learn. Yes, the level of what they're expecting you to teach your kids is nowhere near as high as it was in school. But the main worry for your teachers is to stay safe. You know, do what's best for your family, do what's best for the mental health of you and your kids. You know, it doesn't need to be hot meals at every step of the way. Like, you know, if you are having a bad day and you feel like you can only reach your kid for 20 minutes, so be it. If, you know, your kid's having a bad day, because this stuff is affecting them just as well as it is us, you know, all of them are missing their friends like crazy and probably video chatting, and video calls are getting a little redundant for them at this point, even after only the short period of time. But what we want to remember is that as much as we are suffering, the kids are suffering too. And the thing is that the teachers are, you know, they love our kids just the same. So as much as we're all sitting here, we're trying to either fight our kids or even just try to get through the whole homeschooling idea that, you know, it's our new thing to do now. And I don't mean just mommies, I mean parents of any kind, um, single dads, single moms, double parents that are home because your job wasn't essential and now you're stuck at home, or parents that are working from home. That's the thing you want to keep in mind, because even for the parents that have to work from home, yeah, okay, now your kids are home with you. So what's the best time for you to teach? Well, if your work schedule is, you know, slightly flexible, then maybe you can be slightly flexible with their learning. So that means like you don't have to, like, you know, sit there and be standing over them, but how about you give them I don't know, this is a thought that I maybe had. Maybe do a numbers scavenger hunt in your house and see if you can get your kids to find everything in your house that has a number on it, and see how long it takes them to do that. Or, you know, get the children to count a specific thing that, you know, is typically seen around the house, especially for the younger years that, you know, they can't count that much. I don't know. Tell them to go count however many stairs are in your house. If you have a box of oranges in your fridge, tell them to count how many oranges are there. Or get them to, you know, open up their piggy bank and get them to count the amount of change that they have and do little math games with them like that. Or I'm at a point where, you know, considering we're trying to teach all the genres here, I know we're starting to get warmer weather. We may not be able to go to parks and stuff like that, but, you know, I might just go sit out on the front lawn and do some art with the kids. You know, that could be anything from, you know, taking some paint outside or getting the chalk and do it that way. What I'm saying is that you don't have to sit there and be a super parent and you be like, oh, well, you know, they need to learn this concept and learn this concept and learn this concept, and if they don't learn it by the end of this week, well, then I'm screwed. No, it's not like that. Basically, all the teachers in my area are asking is that you do the best that you can do with what you have, and then from there, um, do what's best for your health. If you feel that you can't do something one day, don't do it. If your kid's not feeling good, don't do it. You know, you got to do what's best for you. Try to do the best of the things that you can do. Follow through with the links that they provide to you, whether it's in Class Dojo or it's in an email that they send to you. Fact of the matter is that we're all still struggling through this. Homeschooling isn't going to be easy for any parent, especially if they're not used to this. So just bear with it. Know you're not alone. And hey, if you really need to, reach out to those teachers that are basically like, you know, God-given saints at this point. And I imagine that, you know, some of them have kids of their own. So not only do they have to worry about teaching kids in school, but, you know, it might even still seem like homeschooling is a hard thing for them to do because they're used to their kids going and, you know, spending time with their teachers in school. But now it's up to them to teach all grade levels of all of their children and all the subjects that they need to learn. You know, if you think of it, that's a really hard deal for a lot of people and just for a one-person job. So, you know, don't get down on yourself, you know? It's okay to have fun with the kids. It's okay to not be, super parent. It's okay to not do math one day, or it's okay for them to just sit there and color all day, or, heck, spend more screen time. But as long as they're learning something is the way I'm going to do this, because as long as they're learning something, that's really all that matters, as far as I'm concerned. And I know a lot of teachers will agree with me, because this is all about safety. But I know that there's some really great teachers in my life, and I know I'm never going to underestimate what a teacher does again in my life. That's for sure. You know, they basically take care of our kids for us while we're at school, as well as also trying to teach them and fill their brain with lots of brain food. And, without them, a lot of our kids nowadays wouldn't learn how to do a lot of the stuff that they need, because I don't know about you, but all I remember as far as my math is concerned in school is your typical addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And I know for a fact that the way I do that is not the way they do it in school. So, new concepts, new things, right? And new years, because we're definitely not the same generation that these kids are. So with that, I'm going to end my video there. And by the way, if anyone's wondering what I'm doing in the video while I'm just chatting and rambling along, I'm actually one of these lovely ones that's sitting here making masks. Yes, I know the masks are not going to be something that prevents the virus or whatever, but I do have a few important people in my life that are still out there doing the job, which I think would be really great that, if there's even a tiny bit of way that this can help, I'm going to do it. So, on that note, I'm going to leave my video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Reach out to your kids' teachers if you're ready to pull your hair out or you're looking for other ideas to help them learn. Most of them can actually provide to you the number, the 1-800 number to call the Chronicle Herald if you aren't receiving your kids' work stuff right now, or you should be able to log into the kids' Google Classroom, I think it is. But if anytime you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your kids' teachers or the local school that they're involved with. There's got to be somebody there that will answer you. And on that note, thanks guys. Have a great day. Have a great quarantine. Don't get yourself in a corner. All right. Bye.